So when we started seriously doing healing work several years ago now, and I realized that not only is my emotional intelligence really, really low, but I also have alexithymia, which partly explains why it's so low. Partly. And I thought to myself, well, how do I fix this? Left my ego at the door, just kind of checked my pride, and thought, well, if I'm working with child parts and my emotional intelligence is that of a very young child who needs to learn these skills, it probably makes sense to start where you would start a kid, right? And I'd heard the term reparenting in the ADHD community, so I thought that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to reach out to younger parts, especially ones who have like big emotions and struggle to name them or experience a lot of alexithymia. And we're going to just work together, right? Like I'm going to learn at the same time, but I'm going to learn by sort of comforting and teaching them and watching how they progress, which is how I ended up reading the little spot books. And this is just like one, there's so many, seriously. Every single night for the last several nights now, we have been rereading a little spot of feelings. And I'm not going to read the whole thing because maybe copyright and whatever. And I'm also a writer, so I don't believe in just giving away people's hard book work for nothing. But I will show you a few pages so you can get a general sense. Like it's literally a kid's book, right? There's pictures, there's a few words, and we go through this and I mentally have him like co-con with me. We're in bed, dim lighting, and I read it as if I am reading to my own kid or something, right? Like pretend I'm babysitting basically. And we go through and like read the things, and I pause so that he has a chance to like comment if he wants to comment on stuff, or like just think about it, and I check in with my feelings. So I'm just kind of practicing mindfulness at that point and some of the somatic therapy, like feeling the body sensations and asking what he's feeling. And our favorite page, especially the last like 3 nights, like last night it was super helpful, is this page in the middle, which incidentally this entire like book cover comes off, and it is a poster. It's a whole like feelings poster, right? But on this page we literally stop and I go, okay, what feeling are you feeling right now? And then this has expanded where I also say, what did we feel earlier today? Like, let's go through memories. Just like you bring something up, and I sit and I wait for him to do it. But you could do this with yourself and just like first thing that pops into your head and be like, oh, this thing happened. What did I feel then? Irritated. And then this other thing happened. What did I feel then? Kind of uneasy, right? Or happy, or whatever the emotion is. And sometimes he wants to physically point. He's not really taking control of the body. So then a lot of times he'll just like make like he wants to point in the head, and I kind of sense that, and so I will point. And at times he struggles to be verbal, even like can't quite say the word to me, but he'll kind of give me like a feeling of like wanting to point. I'll be like, this one, right? Like, and point on the page until it feels right, like something will resonate. And then we read the word together, and depending on what it is, we might sit with that for a little while and be like, well, why was that sad? Or like, let's just feel that emotion for a while. Let's just be sad, maybe, right? And then we go on and like read the rest of the book. But for the most part, it's just an exercise every single night of pausing to reflect on the day, check in emotionally on like whatever moments come up, and then like be with that, however long that needs to be. And then last night specifically, he was saying some things about how he felt throughout the day, and I realized I felt similar but slightly different about that situation, and started to unpack it. And I actually broke out my journal and ended up writing like, I don't know, 3 or 4 pages on this whole situation that I gradually came to realize I'm not just like feeling a little off about this situation. Like the longer I sit with it and the more I like brainstorm like what all goes into this feeling and like write about the situation and all the little details that are like coming back up for me, the more I'm going, oh, wow, like this is my intuition like warning me about something. Like there's a situation here with this person that I really need to pay attention to. And now that I'm thinking about it, I have a better sense of like where I stand, what I want, and I can start to plan like how I'm going to handle interactions with this person in the future. And I just thought I was comforting a child part and practicing our words for emotions. But this is really powerful stuff. Like, it's simple. It looks dumb, right? Or silly, like you feel ridiculous, but it's really potent.